From demo to drop. Welcome to Dope or Nope, the biggest weekly demo drop on the planet. Every Thursday, we bring you never-before-heard demos dropped off by new and accomplished artists and producers. Then, we offer our feedback to help songs reach their full potential. It's time for Dope or Nope.
Ho!
And we're back.
We made it.
We're doing it again.
Unbelievable. So here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dope or Nope. Just around 3 p.m. on Thursday, EST. You are joining us for a live demo drop. Please meet my friends. Mr. McDizzle, right up above me, 30-year radio programmer. What a set of ears on that guy. You've never heard me say that too often. And below me, Nick Dietrich, one half of the Disco Fries, one half of Liftoff Recordings, and one half of Finish My Track. I actually used the right terminology this time. And I am Hess, and I do radio promotion and other fun things here in the universe. Super exciting week. We had such a liftoff last week. Sorry to steal that, Nick.
You got it quite a small record there that you're working. A small one.
Yeah. No, super fun. So, last week we launched a couple of big things. It was Armin van Buuren and David Guetta. I'm really happy to be involved in that. As of about 10 minutes ago, we now have 8 of the 13 dance stations in the United States playing the song. The number 8 will start tomorrow. And just one like really close to my heart as well is the Camel Fat Nadia Ali. She has been in the commercial side of the dance feed a little bit quiet for the last 5 or 6 years, and she did one with The Economist, which was like super underground, and then one with Frankie and Sandrino, same thing. And now she's ready to step back in again, and this new one called Endlessly, which ironically is a song she wrote 10 years ago.
Wow.
Who knew? Great story. Like, their manager just randomly hit me on Instagram. I was like, hey, the guys are really want to do, work with Nadia. They're going to be in LA and blah, blah, blah. Holy smokes. I'm like, yeah. I hit Nadia. She's like, let's go. They got in the studio together, hit it off like banshees, and knocked this thing out in 2 days. It was really exciting.
Amazing.
Nice. So here we are. And then there's a lot of others. There's like Dimitri Vegas has a new one. There's a couple other things. And so fun. Such good music out. I have more coming this week. Nick, you have any releases this week? Or last week?
We have some liftoff stuff, but next week we have a big one coming out. I guess I could talk about it now. We haven't done really any pre-promo.
Come on.
Because we're saving it for next week.
Spill a little bit of the tea. Come on.
We will right now.
All right.
Disco Fries and Tiffany. I think we're alone now.
Say what?
Tiffany has recut the vocal for us. She's on the record. We're both main artists on it. And she's behind it. She's on tour right now in Europe, running all over the place talking about it. So I guess I can talk about it.
Awesome. That's amazing, dude.
It's really cool.
Wait. I can't wait to hear that. I mean, there's like so many, like, where is that going? You can reveal that when you're ready. But that's next week, next Friday?
Next Friday, the 26th. Yeah, we've got some killer remixes too. Kid Spin turned in one. That's awesome. I think the mix show guys
amazing.
Are gonna be all over it. So
that's awesome.
Really, really excited. We've been working on this one for a while. We connected with her label partner probably 6-7 months ago, and they wanted to do something, and they were like, "Hey, we do have the rights to this thing." And I was like, "What thing from Tiffany?" "Oh, her record. I think we're alone now." Yeah, we can do something with that.
That's so crazy, dude.
Yeah,
so crazy.
She was down for it.
So amazing.
Awesome.
Hey, Lauren, what's up?
Hello.
Presidente. How are you, sir?
Thank you very much. I'm good, thanks. Sorry, a little late.
Awesome. We were just talking about Nick is like giving us a little tea on a release that's coming next Friday.
Next Friday.
Disco Fries and Tiffany.
Fuck yeah, that's great.
Like, where's your? I think we're alone now. Like, I'm trying to, like, my brain is there's so many places to go with that.
You know what's crazy to me is that record.
Please make it
That
clear.
record was massive. I didn't know. I actually didn't know it was a cover originally.
No way, really?
And then, yeah.
Wow.
And then I was just looking up the story about the record, and internationally that was a massive record, but it hasn't been reactivated yet. It's one of the few jams from the 80s that hasn't been really like pushed into in a big way. Universal owns the rights to the original. It's just kind of like chugging along on TikTok and Spotify, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
It's time. It's time.
It ain't broken. They're just like, collect. Thank you. Amazing. I can't wait to hear where you guys went with that. Quick shout out to the guys who are already in the chat: Mason Boss, Remnant's Music, Mr. DJ Spawn. Thank you always for your great help and your redirecting Dope or Nope music all the time, as we have to do that. Over on Instagram, Junior Sanchez, what's up? Bank official. Yo, Jeff Dionis. Wow, I haven't seen you in a while, bro. Hope you're well.
Wow.
And and we're all right here. If you didn't understand who this guy right below me is, that is Mr. Lauren Padman. He is the president of Dimmock Records, and he's joining us today. So I think we should just kick off with some demos. What do you think?
Let's go.
That's good.
Let's go. First one is Krivix, and this is called Let You Down on Dope or Nope. Beautiful. I'm going to take it to the bill. All right. That is Krivix, Let You Down, the radio edit. I mean, do we have bells today? Thank you.
Like a bell,
We do.
please.
Hang on,
Yes.
is this playing two things at once? It is. There we go.
Okay.
Good.
So we have
that
two
was
bells.
amazing.
3 bells for me.
Was that your bell, Nick?
My,
Three?
I gave a
John?
bell, but now we got whatever.
I'll take a bell, please.
A bell. This is awesome.
There it is, the
bells.
first song of the day, and 4 bells. Right in.
Yeah,
Right in.
sorry I was
Wow.
so distracted, but I'm just writing a quick email. Just kidding.
So,
wasn't,
I'm
but I
so
would like-
confused by that, Lauren. So
Yeah,
confused
yeah.
by that.
Oh, this is a really
Yeah.
beautiful record. I love it. The first thing I noticed about it, if I can say, was the vocal felt really well mixed into the record. It felt really emotional, and the lyrics were great. And those 3 things together aren't easy. So that was the first thing. And then the music sort of stood up to the vocal quality. certainly in the drop. So it sounded just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it was just a beautiful, finished, well executed, expensive sounding record.
So well put together. 100% agree. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I loved it. The arrangement was flawless too. Everything happened when I wanted it to happen. I like when that. I like surprises, but sometimes it's nice when things just do what they're supposed to do in a record.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah,
man.
Totally. It felt great. The mix, it's a little hot, like in the mid range. Might want to stem mix this thing before it floats out the door, but it's great. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah. Super, super well done. JB, what do you think? Same?
Yeah, I mean, I think I gave it a bell as well. I just thought it was a really gorgeous soundscape, and I think the vocals really complemented that as a whole. It was just, if this is any indication of how this show's going to go, we're in for some great music.
I know. Would you play this, John? If someone sent this to you and you were still at C89 or any radio station, would you play it?
I think so. It kind of has the sound that I like to put on the air. And it does sound like KNHC. So if you want to send it there, I know some people.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe Gabe could play that in test.
Spin.
That would be pretty awesome.
I agree.
So there you have it. Krivix out the door with 4 bells. Let You Down right here on Dope or Nope. Next demo up is someone called Just Good and Hagelin. And this is called Larger Than Life on Dope or Nope.
I may run and hide when you're screaming my name, alright. But let me tell you now, there are prices to fame, alright. All of our time spent in flashes of light. All you people, can't you see how your love's affecting our reality? Every time we're down, you can make it right, and that makes you larger than life.
All right, that's Just Good and Hagelin with Larger Than Life. Thank you, John, for the history books. That is, who did this already?
The Backstreet Boys remake.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
And when I wrote down the title of it, I thought, it'd be funny if it was a remake of that. There's no way it is. And then, there it is.
I don't remember this song. Not that I followed the Backstreet Boys. I think that's more of a Lauren thing.
He looks like a Backstreet Boy.
I mean,
look at him.
Here
he
we
looks
go.
Straight out of a boy band. If you never met him in your life, you'd say that guy was an O-Town. Or
O-Town.
Why do I put up with this every Thursday?
Wow.
Why do you come
O-Town.
back?
I keep coming
Where
back.
did you pull that one out of?
I don't know.
O-Town.
It's a deep cut.
And it cuts deep, just so you know.
Yes.
Good. Listen, great production. Interesting choice of song, but if you slightly make a couple of changes, you probably have like a very nice middle-of-the-road commercial dance record that would get played in every commercial bar club around America, I would say. Like
Hotel bar. Yep.
Yeah, it's perhaps, but like a lot of open format kind of places around that aren't trying to be cool or would play this kind of record, you know. But if you could get it to be slightly less cheesy, that's the only trick, and that's slightly hard. But maybe it's a filter you could put over the vocal, or maybe you could detune it slightly. I thought when the drop comes in, like this little section, quite nice. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, cool, it's pretty good. And then it gets really bad. Just turn up a little bit here, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, hold on. This part.
Okay.
You know how I thought this could, I agree with you, but do you know that part could work if it was vocoded?
Yeah, so I was about to say, if it was vocoded and it had lots of lower octaves in it, anchoring it, because if in that instance the producers decided to go up, and I think if in doubt, go down. I've always said that my whole career, actually. And I think that's the move. If you're never sure about what to do in the studio,
I'm leaving that completely alone.
You've got I just realized as I was saying it. If you've got a MIDI and you're always like, this is not working, should we put it up an octave or down an octave? I'm like, if in doubt, always go down for dance music, and it almost always works. Isn't that right, JB?
That's right. I'm sorry, I was listening to my dogs barking at my neighbors.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, it's what's happening here. So yeah, I mean, I think that this, I think it's a nice update of the original, and the original definitely felt like a Backstreet Boys song. You know, like there was definitely Five Guys. I like the updated production on it. It isn't trying to be too cool, and I like the suggestions that you guys made for sort of hipping it up a little bit. But it was kind of a nice surprise to hear a song that I already sort of, you know, recognized pretty immediately.
Right.
Haven't heard this record hit yet either, so you found one that hasn't been rinsed out.
That hasn't been completely destroyed. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just good.
So there you have it.
Dope stuff. I was going to suggest that he sends this to Strange Fruits. They do a lot in this lane. Like the cover lane, that's kind of middle of the road dance. It's not going to, like, you know, it's not the edgiest stuff on the planet, but it's clean and it works.
Yeah, but there's room for this stuff. That's the thing.
For sure.
Having worked in like 1,000 different bars and places, and like you might hear this in like a Orange Theory class, or you know what I mean? Like you just never know. Or no one will play it. Like that's sort of the options. You're either gonna get this flood of like, oh, how cool, or no. That's kind of where it is. All right, so there you have it. Just good. Thanks for sending that over. Next up, Versu, and this is called simply New One. So we'll go with that right here on Dope or Nope.
Mountains too high.
Versu with New One. I'm assuming yet unnamed. And probably still a little bit rough. It's about 4 minutes long, but I kind of like where he's going.
So many dope ideas in that.
Yeah. Really nice to lay something down that's just like, wide open for interpretation. Thank you for sending that. JB, you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I think it sounded nice and wide in my headphones, and just overall it had a nice feel, and I kind of like the way it's structured. I like the build, and the vocals are complimentary as well. So, what's not to like?
Right.
We might.
You're saying there's a second drop. There's a second drop right here. Hold on. That's cool.
Yeah, it's groovy.
I like it.
Nick is great too.
What do you got?
Mix is super clean. The only thing that threw me off was the placement and kind of the mix on the arpeggiated synth that came in like halfway through the build, then it went away, then it came in one of the drops, and then it went away. It just felt a little out of place, both the sound and it was less the sound. It was the mix of it and the programming of it. Because you go to a major chord on the second bar of that rubs a little bit on the minor chord structure you have throughout the rest of it. It works like once or twice, probably by chance, but then it keeps repeating and it keeps drawing your attention to like what sounds to be like a wrong note. So I would just be a little mindful of how you place that in there. Really great ideas though.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were talking about just now, but
I'm glad that you said about the major on the second and how it rubs against the first. And I have that every weekend myself. Honestly, it's just such a pain. I really hate it. But I'm glad that you cleared that up for us. Thank you, Mr. Tech Nerd. That was very good, actually. Great songwriting tip from the superstar legend.
Just the
that
tip.
Is finishmytrack.com. Finishmytrack.com. See what I did there?
You did.
And
plug.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. It's well deserved after that amazing detail. I really liked it. The only trouble that I had about it was the synth, I guess, is by design needing to be slightly screechy, but it just felt a little bit too aggressive to me in some places. But at the same time, this is the track that does what it says that it's going to do on the lid. It's chugging along and playing that style at that time of night, and I don't think anyone's going to walk off the dance floor. But I just don't know how unbelievably excited they're going to be about, like, have you heard this new song? It's unbelievable. Is it? It's good. It's good / very good, but I don't know if it's great. So maybe it's just because it's dreamy, or I don't know. But I think it's just trying to stay in its lane and be a mid-set bit or a builder record or a pressure record, but for that style. A lot of vocals, but good. I'll take half a bell on it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't know what today's half a bell is. Oh, no,
okay,
you got a full bell.
Yeah, well, it's fine. You can have a full bell.
All right.
Welcome.
Donation.
So I'd like a half a bell too, so the full bell kind of works there. Nick, I think you're right, and I agree. There's so many great ideas. Consolidating them into about 3 minutes would be my first suggestion, because it's 4:07 and it feels 4:07. Not a bad thing, but it doesn't drag, but it definitely feels how long it is. Sometimes you can go through a 4-minute edit and you're like, where did that go? It took 2 seconds. So, but yeah, really, really great place to start. And for that, the half a bell. Versu, thanks for sending that over, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So next up, our boys Mason Boss, and wait, Haleen and Vowork? What is going on right now? This is called Reach You. I'm going to have to sit down for this. Not really. What's up, Bass from Get Real Management? Instagram. bad she can't sing. A little speechless on this one. That is Mason, Boss, Haleen, and Bowork. Reach You. Wow.
All right. Any chance I could have all of your sleigh bells? I need all of them.
I need to
we
find
need the
those,
whistle. We need the cows. We need the all the things.
Yep. Yeah. Just so many bells. Wow. Just so perfect. What a record. I think I'm going to have to take a little lie down now. But it's so good.
It's a clinic. It's a clinic.
Record is a clinic. Wow, that's such a good line. Yeah, it's really good. In fact, I was about to show you guys that I went to Lost in Dreams on the weekend, and that's me going to see the girl in question, Hayley, play, and she just absolutely crushed it. Like live, crushed it. It was so great.
No, she's the same. What we're hearing right now. I've seen her live. This is exactly what you get.
Yeah.
On the record and in person.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. There's very, very few vocalists who can hit all of those notes live. You know, one's called Hayla, and the other one's called Haylene. There's something in the name, don't you think? It's just perfect. And Metzer and Boss never seem to disappoint at all. And Nick, I think we have to have a conversation.
Whenever you want, I'm right here. You got my number.
All right, good man. Yeah, absolutely. It's great.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
Nothing. You don't.
This is like a side when you get a side pot in Monopoly.
I mean,
you know, when you're playing Monopoly and then you do like the side pot and there's like another.
I feel very JB. I feel like I just got skirted off to the side there. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, these aren't the droids you're looking for.
What is track? I simply just wrote down "Ready for Dance Radio." I mean, it's such a complete song. Mesa and Boss always do such an outstanding job of production, and then Haylene just killed the vocals. So, consider myself slayed.
Yeah. Wow. I wish there were more places for this to be on the air. That would be just like.
Yeah, I'm curious. Where do you guys think this lives?
You know, you can put it on Armin's channel, on BPM. C89 probably play it. There's a couple of stations that where it actually fits, right? And the rest is going to be a scratch to get it in.
Well, if it gets big enough, the rest of them will come on. You know, because it's like
but also like
this huge hit.
Kind of, do you care? You know, it's like I think this is like a great sound and something that fits in such a space that is where the fans are so rabid. Like they are just, they don't mess around. The people who listen to trance and melodic trance, and they're just like, they're in it to win it, like every single day. You know, they're just like no joke. So really, really well done. Of course, we'll take 4 bells on that. And just a quick shout out, a couple of people that were on Instagram. You ready? Just Good was there. We played your record. Thank you for sending that, man. Krevex, I think you joined a little bit late. We played your song first. 4 bells in case you're still on Instagram. Well done, sir. Yeah, and then there's this one. So, wow. We're having a good day. What a
day.
Amazing music.
Yeah, so great, right?
Level.
What do you think? Now, you guys who run labels, like I have a different perspective, like because I have a very specific way I listen to something. John, I think you're in a similar lane with me. But from a label perspective, like when you hear something, you're like, I have to have this. So that's the first criteria, right? So after that, what are the next couple of things that you would look for? Smaller labels maybe are not looking for the giant or don't have to have the giant social media following, but it doesn't hurt if you have something going on and you're showing the label you're working as hard as you want them to work for you, right? So that's, to me, that's part of the criteria. But what else? What are the other things?
I'll let Lauren go first on this because I think Dinmock's qualifiers are much different than what we would have for Liftoff.
No, I'll finish if you don't mind. I'd love to sort of tie up the points.
All right,
but
sure.
If you don't mind.
So for Liftoff, I mean, Danny and I, the ethos from the beginning was, will we play this? Will we play this? Will we play it in a club? Will we play it on a radio show? And not every venue gets every record, right? Like we might play a pool party that gets a specific type of record, and we might play a radio show or a fitness mix that's totally different than how we would play live. So, but does it fit in any of these realms where we exist? That's the singular qualifier, and then everything else is icing. We don't look at we look at metrics after the fact for pitching and things like that, and it's great if somebody's killing it. That is super helpful for strategy, but it has no bearing on, are we signing this? Are we getting behind this record? There have been plenty of artists that have had nothing going on, that are 16 years old, that have 10 SoundCloud followers and no Spotify. So literally no Spotify profile. Like we need to create the profile for the thing to go, and I love that. I mean, some of those are the best ones. They take feedback really well. Not all of them, but some of them. They take feedback really well, and they're receptive. And they also, when you're at that point in your career, anything is a win. Just signing a record is a win. So it's nice to be around people who are grateful for like the small things. Hey, I got some airplay. I got on Nicky Romero's playlist on Spotify. I got like things that at this point in our career, sometimes we take for granted. It's nice to see when it's received as like a huge moment in that artist's career.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, there isn't much beyond that as far as a qualifier. Just got to be dope music.
Yeah.
Lauren?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now we can. It's
very muddy.
Sounds like you're in a tin can.
Hang on. Let me try something. How about now? Better? Man.
Holy loud.
The holy loud, okay. So every time my Mac just keeps making adjustments on its microphone without asking permission. Fun. Okay, so I've got a couple of things here which could be helpful. I have a theory of why we would sign a record. And the theory is that it needs to fit into one of 3 buckets. One bucket is the song good for clubs or festivals? The second bucket would be, is this thing good for DSP playlists? And the third bucket is, would this be good for dance radio? And ideally, you want the song to fit into 2 buckets. If it can fit into 2, then you've got a better chance of this putting all your hopes and dreams into one of them. Like, let's put this out in clubs, and radio will never play the song, and playlists will never play this song. Let's just go to clubs, and then it falls on its ass. So we always, well, at least I'm thinking 3 buckets. Let's hit 2 of them. Does that make sense, roughly?
Yeah.
So that's my first instinct. And then when I gave that instinct and theory to Steve Aoki not so long ago, he said to me, I really like that, but I also think we need to sign music that will stream and make money, and we need to sign music that's dope, because we are sorry, the music's really loud, Hess.
Sorry.
Or because we are trying to be a lifestyle brand, because no one's wearing a Sony t-shirt, a Universal t-shirt, a Warner t-shirt or whatever, but they're wearing a Dim-Mak t-shirt, and that's got a lot to do with us having a lifestyle brand. So we think about what's playable by all of these different places, radio playlists and clubs and DJs, but also what's cool and dope. And the second side of this conversation is, who are we signing? Does the artist that we're signing fit into our ecosystem? For one thing, is it a match, and are we able to help them? So we don't generally sign people who don't have their own profile, their own thing going on, and very rarely do we ever start a Spotify profile, for example. However, I thankfully have two labels that I can mess with in this instance. One is called Dim-Mak New Noise, and New Noise is meant to be for new artists, new sounds, new noise. That was the theory for it. So therefore, it gives me a little bit more leniency and leeway to find really good records, for example, on this show, where someone's hasn't had the opportunity yet, but we can give it to them through the Dim-Mak New Noise system. And that, to what the last point you were saying, Nick, is it gives them the opportunity to experience what a release is. Because when I was taught by John Corson and Andy Van from Vicious, and we discovered this kid called Tim Burling who wanted to call himself Avicii, and he handed in a bunch of demos. And the demos melodically were really good, but they meandered, they were quite long, they weren't refined at the time, and we were trying to find something to be his first release. And I wasn't sold on the first song that we were going to put out. It was called Sound of Now, which I thought in itself means it's instantly dateable. But I was like, is it the Sound of Now? Is that kitsch? And the song kind of was just chugging along as a progressive house record. But John Corse made a really good point. He said, you've got to let the artist experience what having a release is like, where they have to do all the assets. They have to get prepared for it. They are ready for release day. They promote it out. They get the feedback. They see it out in the real world, and they experience every element that we take for granted. An artist who's never had a release needs that to know what's going on and where do they sit in the market and what do they need to adjust or fix, or what did they enjoy, what didn't they enjoy, what would they like to do more of or less of. So I think that there's something to be said for getting your music out into the world just to experience what it feels like to release a song and go through all the hurdles and the ups and downs.
Well said. It's the same reason we advocate for just finishing records and putting them out yourself.
Right.
If you're not getting the emails you want to get from labels, get in the habit of just finishing records and putting them out so you understand that process. It's like the minor leagues in some ways when you're just getting started. And you also figure out, how do I promote this record so it works for my brand? So when I go to a label, I can do all that work on top of what the label's going to do. And it incentivizes the label to work harder.
And it's also good for the artists.
It's great.
To work like everyone else is working, you got to work. That's today's world. Period. End of story. Well, great insight, guys. Thank you very much for sharing that. Really appreciate it. So once again, in case you kind of were under a rock, that was Mason Boss before with Haleen Vowork, called Reach You. Big shout out to Stonebridge for joining over on Instagram. Thank you, man. Hope you're well, Mr. Sten.
What up?
And let's get on to the next demo, which is Rimnez music, and this is called Lonely Days on Dope or Nope.
On the ocean, but my heart is dry. Beauty all around, but I'm unsatisfied. Running through this jungle, trying to find a way. Then I hear your voice calling me to the light. Is this only a dream? What does everything mean? Are my lonely days over? Are you staying with me? I was swimming upstream to your love in a vein. Now you're my crying shoulder and I'm your nicotine. Are my lonely days over? 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 In a cloudy gray in my celestial gold, we're like lightning on the plains of Tokyo. Now I found my reason and I know my way. All I need is you to never let me go. Is this only a dream? What does everything mean? Are my lonely days over? Are you staying with me? I was swimming upstream to your love in a vein. Now you're my crying shoulder and I'm your nicotine. Are my lonely days over? Are my lonely days over? Your nicotine. Are my lonely days
So there you have Rimnez with Lonely Days right here on Dope or Nope. Who wants to take a crack at that first?
I'll jump in on this really quick. Kudos to Rimnez for taking our advice over the last year. We've all been pushing him to add vocals to his records, and I feel like I've heard more and more from him with vocals. So really nice.
Oh, yeah, every
work
time he comes now, it feels
progressing
like,
the sound.
yeah.
This one, I like the vocal vibe, and it's got some catchy elements to it. The main hook, "The Lonely Days Over," it's not just the lyric part of it's that it's not hitting like the root of the song, and it feels unstable to land there. Like it doesn't have a punchline where it really like lands. Lauren can speak to this better than I can because he is the vocal master. But it doesn't tie the phrasing in a bow. So I would encourage you to pick another line as like your takeaway line from the record that you walk away with. Especially for right before the drop. But that would be my main advice. Overall, it sounds great. I think the mix pushes a little hard. Hess was asking in the background if the volume was okay. I thought it was just loud because your master is very hot. So I would take a look at that.
Yeah, I just want to, like, I get what you're saying about that line, but also I feel like the delivery doesn't, like, go in. Like, it feels like they're just doing this vibe through the whole thing, right? So when you come to that part where you want to, like, it's also hard right after hearing a Helene record. So, but, like, there's got to be, no, but I mean, like, it's the same tonal quality to me throughout this entire piece.
Yeah,
I'd agree. And it sounds great, but when you get to the actual hook part or the chorus, like, let's go. Drop in a little more power than that. You know, and that would also, to me anyway, separate it from everything else that's been going on. But half a bell, please. I really like it.
Oh, it cut off. It did, I promise.
Close enough.
That was
Close
good.
enough.
Cutting off was half a bell. I'll take the other half. See if you can do it.
All right.
There you go. It worked. It feels like it meanders in this part. Are my lonely days over is in itself an interesting line, but it's not interesting when you hear it 4 times to 8 times in a row.
Softly,
it feels,
you know.
Yeah, I'm quite harsh about this advice normally, because to me it feels like you ran out of ideas. And it's a good idea, but you just didn't complete it. So for me, it feels like a placeholder. It doesn't feel like it's the final line. And I've given this advice out to songwriters over the years so many times. It's simple. If you're going to have a really good line and you're going to repeat it 4 times, A, don't do that. Try to have the really good line and then have 3 more. Or if you really love it so much, then have it be the bookends. The bookends. Have one at the beginning, have 2 different ones in the middle, and then have it as the wrap-up. So you hear at the beginning and the end of the phrasing. Aren't My Lonely Days Over is an interesting line. The way it's sung was kind of interesting. The way the other singing is quite nice because it scales. I think anything that scales is quite nice. Da-da-da-da was quite nice. But I just don't know if it's compelling enough. And it obviously, in my opinion, or maybe honestly, in my opinion, gets ear fatiguing. So that's all. So just, nothing you've got in there is horrible except the repetition. So just try to work on something else so that it doesn't. Because, listen, if someone gets through this song without, going, okay, I've heard enough, then they're probably not going to feel like they're in need of hearing it again. Whereas some other songs. Some other songs, you definitely feel that way. You hear the song, you're like, that was sick, and you can repeat it, and it's fine. But in this instance, to me, it feels like once you've heard it, you're good for a week.
Good for a week of Are Your Lonely Days Gone? Yeah.
Well, you've heard it, and you're done. I think there's an element to my argument that I always have with you guys about trying to make shorter radio edits, is because you want to leave the listener feeling not satisfied entirely that they've heard it and they don't want to hear it again. You want them to go, oh, that was really cool, and
less
go back
is more.
A little less.
Yeah. Leave them wanting more.
Yeah.
Yeah. JB, what do you got?
Yeah. I thought the track was really well produced. I like the melody. Just overall, it's a nice sounding record, and I can definitely sort of echo the point where she does repeat that one line a lot, and maybe there's some tricks you can do on her vocal to filter it or whatever to make it seem a little less repetitive, or you could just not use it as much. So I'll take a half a bell though. Nick, let's see what you got.
All right. There you go.
My man.
I guess we'll call it a muted bell from now on.
A muted bell. And just reeling back real quick, I'm seeing the comments on Twitch. Versus said the demo that we played was played by Shipwreck in their live set, and the crowd went wild.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great, man.
Congrats.
All right, next demo up. What do we got? Oh, Mr. Arland, and this is called Phoenix on Dope or Nope. That was a nice segue. I'm going to move it up a little bit. That is Arland with Phoenix right here on Dope or Nope. I mean, is that a song waiting to happen?
That is a vocal that needs to write itself onto that.
Beautiful.
Wow, what a lovely track. I will take a full bell, though, in the meantime.
Yeah. I'll take a bell for the instrumental. It's a great.
I'll take a bell for the instrumental, too.
There you go. Beautiful record.
Oh, super
really
nice.
Man.
Wow.
Clean mix.
Yeah, I like
produced.
that a lot.
Great kick. The kick is
spot
on.
Super nice
really
kick.
Nice.
Yeah. Like a dirty South kick.
Really, really something.
Like
John, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really dramatic and had a lot of nice texture. I gravitated towards the different drums that were used in it. So that must be the kick you guys are talking about, as well as some of the other little things that they just threw in here and there. So, I mean, I'll take a bell as well.
All right.
There it is. 4 bells. 3 songs, 4 bells. Love it. Love it. Lauren, what do you got?
I don't even know where to begin on this record. There's a lot of nice, really movements in the synth. I think that a songwriter, a lyricist won't be too challenged by what's going on to write another vocal melody without being guided only by a melody within the song. I think there's lots of counter melodies that already come to my head that you could write. It feels like this section's a beautiful build under the song. It's got my little 16th trick in there that I like so much tonight, with the ARP and all that.
I'm going to get you the T-shirt for that, by the way.
I'll wear it. The kick is really punchy in a rounded way. It sort of like feels punchy, but not trying to be too aggressive or attacky.
Right.
Yeah, it's really, the bottom end feels full. So yeah, it's nice. It's just a really great writing demo. I think a lot of people would feel very inspired by this.
Absolutely. Nick, you want to close it out?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's easy on the ears, so it's got replayability because it's not challenging you too much. It feels nostalgic, but the mix is fresh, so it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound dated, and that's hard to do in this style because it has synths that are. I mean, they're common synths that are used in tons of dance records, and it's hard to like make something that feels fresh and unique while also, paying homage to what came before it. And sometimes those records just fall flat on their face because they try to do the old school thing too much, and it just feels old and dated. This kind of does a good job of pushing it forward. But yeah, encourage you to get on that vocal. I would get a couple different vocals cut for this and see where you land. Because it could go like the big John Martin direction. It could go with a female singer. A Deborah Cox type vocal would work. Like the world you're always.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. All right, Arlen, that's called Phoenix. And we got one left. You ready? Zach Wilson. And this is called Need You right here. Dope or Nope. think we have almost the identical comments for this one, right?
Yep, it's ready for a vocal.
I mean, somebody right. Let's sit down. Let's go.
Yeah, this is good because it could go either way. You could get like really energetic vocal, or you could just like relax into it as well, right? What do you think, Nick?
Yeah.
I feel like this is a chill vocal record. It reminds me, it could get pushed in the direction of like the Zerb records, Addicted with Chainsmokers. That came to mind. The riff gets a little tired on me. Like, I love it. It's catchy, but it needs a break at some point to go away, and then you miss it and it comes back. And the drums were just kind of clunky for this kind of record. I would reference a bunch of chill dance stuff in this lane and dial it in from there.
Right.
That kick
super
is
cool.
heavy.
John?
Yeah, I liked it. I think like I said, it's ready for somebody to it's ready for somebody to take it and, you know, add their vocal melodies to it. It just doesn't have too much going on to make that a hard thing to do, it seems like. So I think it sounds well produced, at least in my goofy little headphones. So yeah, I like it.
All right. Well, guys, thank you. Lauren, I think, has got to jump. He's got to get up on stage with O-Town, I think it was. And
tie the show in a bow.
Tie the show in a freaking bow. You guys.
Complete circle. Right around the corner on that one. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Mr. President, you go off and do your thing. Don't forget to do the floss. A little flossing.
We love you. You know we wouldn't have choose you if we didn't love you.
Yeah. All right. Wonderful. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you always for your time, brother.
Appreciate it.
Talk to you soon.
You guys. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Take care.
See ya. So there you have it. Amazing, amazing demos again. Let's see who's so Zach Wilson, Arlen Rimnes, Mason Boss, Fursu, Just Good, and Krivix. Wow.
Yeah. What a slate of music this week.
I mean,
fantastic.
I kind of,
even with the Backstreet Boys remake. I mean, what more do we want?
It's very true. It's very true. So that's a wrap. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again. Dope or Nope every Thursday, 3 p.m. EST. Mr. John, what do you have planned for the weekend?
Well, I'm going to start working next week for the upcoming primary election. So I'm actually going to do a lot of junk to get ready for the week. I haven't had a week's
little flat jacket shopping, or is that where you're
going? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, go get myself a nice bulletproof vest. Not exactly sure. It's lovely weather here. It's not going to be quite as hot, so get out there with the dogs.
Congratulations. Yeah, I know. That's amazing. Whew. We're having it here. Mr. Nick, I think you have people coming over. Is it a celebration of some kind?
No, of life. It's always a celebration of life. Come on, Hess.
I love that. Dude, that's awesome.
That's what we do here.
That's amazing.
Actually, two announcements coming up. When are these dates? In, what is this, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? We're rocking HQ2 in Atlantic City, August 9th, if anybody's around want to come out. And I guess working backwards, August 6th, we'll be at the DJ X conference, also in Atlantic City, doing a keynote with those guys. So talking about production and everything music business and everything you want to know.
Amazing.
We'll be up there chatting about it. So
that's great.
Nice.
And I cannot wait till next week to hear. Maybe you could play us a little piece of I Think We're Alone Now.
Yeah, next week we'll play.
Can you do that? Sure. Oh, amazing. Can't wait. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hug someone you love, because it's never too late to tell them. And Mr. John has a message as well.
A little something to say. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to share clips of the show, feel free to do that. Make sure and tag us on them, and we can repost them and help grow the show. And if you know artists that would value some feedback on their tracks, tell them about us. The more the merrier.
Yeah. Send your stuff over. dopeornopemusic.com. Don't forget. And we'll see you next week. Are we rating today, sir?
We are going to go into DJ Say What is live right now on Twitch.
Nice.
He doesn't know we're coming, but we're coming. We're going to raise
But here we go. Thanks, everybody.
Now. Thank
Bye,
you, guys. Great music this week.
See you guys.